Fan Hotline is presented by Sullivan Super Service, providing trusted plumbing and HVAC service for over 50 years. And joining us right now on that hotline is our buddy from the Post-Gazette, host shows here on the Fan. That is Jason Mackey. And Mackey, time is a flat circle. It was Brandon Ayuk. It was just about every wide receiver at the deadline, including Cooper Kupp, and now it's Cooper Kupp again. Should the Steelers, good morning, first of all, should the Steelers trade for Cooper Kupp?
Yes. I mean, yes. I feel like that's the most obvious need / player available / skill set. I don't know if it happens, Adam. I mean, do they have the desire to give up what it would take to get Cooper Kupp? I don't know how much say Cooper Kupp has in coming here. I mean, obviously the Rams are going to make the best decision for the organization, but I mean, if he has any input, does he want to come play a place where you don't know who the starting quarterback is right now? But I mean, yes, look at their receiver room. Look at Cooper Kupp. How can you not go after him? I'm a little surprised by your poll on Twitter, by the way. That said, I think more than 50% are saying don't trade for Cooper Kupp.
I wouldn't do it because of the age and the recent injury concerns. I mean, if this doesn't work this way in the NFL, if there was a guarantee he'd stay healthy, yeah, I still think he's a really good player. But I think there's a ton of available options, including in the draft, and I would rather go in that direction.
Okay.
Nice.
I disagree with you, my friend.
I do too.
I disagree with anybody who's got that kind of goatee going on. What the hell's going on there, Mackey?
You don't like it?
What?
I think it looks good. It looks sharp.
Bad?
You know what? I do like it. I'm just jealous because whenever I grow a goatee, I look like Satan.
I can see that, by the way.
Thank you.
I can see that.
Jason, if they were to
Dorin,
trade,
you're in?
I'm in. I think that he would fit everything that they need. If they were to trade Cooper Kupp, would that be enough? Would that be enough to reset this room? And let's throw in a draft pick. Let's say that they draft a Ibuka in the first round. Would that be enough?
Oh boy,
for this Steelers wide receiver room.
Are we trading George Pickens at that point, or are we keeping George Pickens?
Let's do both. Let's do trade and let's do not trade.
I mean, not a trade. I love it. I love the idea. Like, if your top three is George Pickens, Cooper Kupp, and Emeka Ibuka, with maybe Roman Wilson. I mean, I don't know. I do worry at that point that George Pickens would be irate and there wouldn't be enough football to go around with all those guys. And one advantage, Adam, that I see in taking Cooper Kupp is you don't have to address the position high in the draft at that point. Like, you're spending money. They should have money to spend. And that opens me up then to address defensive line.
Phooey. Defensive line.
I mean, it's a serious need.
Of course it's a serious need, but it's also one of the deeper positions.
Ibuka, that's going to be your first-round pick.
Of course it is, and it should be. This is as deep a defensive line draft as I can remember, and that's because I don't remember previous drafts. But that's what you read, is it's a very deep defensive line draft. I think you can get a good defensive lineman in the second round. And if I bring in Cooper Kupp and I've got George Pickens, let's just say that that's the way that it goes. Yeah, you're better than you were last year. It's not hard to get better than you were last year. You're also old at your number 2 position. Like, it helps you next year, but they're not winning jack next year anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the number, but I keep coming back to they should have the salary cap space to fit Cooper Kupp. And if he fits, like, you know, I mean, on the field fits, they clearly have a need. What he does football-wise fits them to a T. They need to open up the middle of the field more. So I'm sorry, I just don't see a downside to doing it. I mean, unless the price is astronomical, I guess, but I can't imagine it's that much given his age and what he makes.
No, I wouldn't think it would cost a lot to bring him in. My concern is that if he's your number 2, then really Roman Wilson's your number 2 for like 7 games next year. Because I just don't think he's going to be able to stay healthy.
You don't think he can stay that healthy? Yeah.
He hasn't. I mean, you never know, but he hasn't. Shall we talk T.J. Watt?
Well, neither is Roman Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah, but neither did Calvin Austin, and Dorin thinks he's the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Who? Calvin?
Yeah.
I think he's better than Roman Wilson.
But he missed his entire first year, too, and then turned into a
You
good
want to
player.
do that again?
What?
Wait,
right.
Go through that again with Roman Wilson?
I'm not giving up on a third-round pick because he got hurt for a year.
Neither am I, but I'm not counting on him for anything substantive.
You can't.
I can count on Cooper Kupp.
You absolutely can't argue that you can't count on Roman Wilson because he was hurt, and then out of the other side of your mouth say I can count on Cooper Kupp, who's been hurt each of the last 3 years.
Cooper Kupp was the Super Bowl MVP. He could still catch the football if he doesn't get hurt. I can still count on him.
I forgot. It's 2017.
I could count on him to be a leader of the wide receiver room, too, for young players.
That I buy into. And you do need that. Like, you desperately need that.
Desperately.
Because Zach Azzani, he didn't fix that problem.
The idea, Adam, is adding more bodies. Like, nobody should have that many miles on the tire. You should be able to rotate people. I mean, you would really hope that Roman Wilson in year 2 can step up and give them something. I was very impressed with Calvin Austin. You might add another body in addition to what we're talking about. Cooper Kupp, one more, keep George Pickens. I mean, they have to add a significant amount of volume here.
Sure, and I'm advocating for them signing a free agent at wide receiver, perhaps 2. I'm just not trading for Cooper Kupp, but I think we're at something of an impasse here, gentlemen, and I feel ganged up on, and my feelings are hurt. On to TJ?
Sure.
That's nice. We don't care.
He does it to himself, and then he wants to blame us.
What went into the goatee, by the way? Was Abby like, yo, we need to spice this thing up, or you just think it makes you look cool?
Well, there's nothing that makes me look cool. I'm not that foolish. My wife does love it, and so that's why I keep it. I just needed a little change up. That's it. Nothing more than that. And now that it's here, Abby is a big fan, so I don't know if it's going to be leaving anytime soon. I look goofy with anything else.
Have you done the soul patch?
No.
I can see that the soul patch might work for him.
It could work.
It could absolutely work for him.
It can.
I look like enough of a dope on my own. I don't need any help.
If I grew a soul patch, it would look like an eyebrow on my bottom lip. But I digress. All right, so the Browns, well, they might trade Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett once out of town. Should the Steelers consider moving T.J. Watt, Jason? And if the answer to that is no, do you feel comfortable making T.J. Watt once again the highest paid defensive player in football?
Well, I don't think it matters what I think. I think it matters what they think. And we've had every indication that, yes, they're going to continue down this path with TJ Watt. Do I personally think it would make sense for them to explore something? Yeah, probably. I'd at least listen. I wonder what the trade return is. I mean, if it's multiple first-round picks, I would do it. But I don't think they're going to. And I think to sign TJ Watt, they're going to have to make him the highest defensive player in football. I don't know. I'm enticed by what you could have on the other side of that. And yes, you were losing somebody significant with TJ Watt. There's no way around that. But how many times do you have the amount of backfill in the form of Alex Highsmith or Nick Herbig, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not working? Why not try to do something else? Why not try to address a need a different way, accumulate first-round pick? Again, all of this is moot if those offers aren't there, but I'd at least listen.
Jason, last question for you real quick. Who do you like in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go with the Eagles in an upset. I don't know if I feel particularly good about that, but I think Saquon Barkley has his moment. I think the Chiefs finally don't have their moment. I think it's just not enough, and I think we see how good the Eagles really are.
And they are good.
What about you guys? They are.
Chiefs.
They are.
Yeah, it's
a fantastic team and aggressive defense.
I could not, in good conscience, bet on the Philadelphia Eagles and then lose that bet and sleep that night. But I feel like if I bet on the Chiefs and they lose, I could say, well, at least I took friggin' Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Also, here's a text. Mackey disagrees with Crowley. Crowley immediately insults his personal appearance. That's exactly right. That's how that happened.
Yes.
Jason, this was wonderful. Thank you as always. Spirited and delightful.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jason.
I like Jason.
You're callous.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. That's what you do to him every day.
Callous, you think that Jared Jones stinks? Well, guess what? You're fat. I can see where you're coming from, and I'm trying to grow as a person. And I'm taking out my angst on Mackey instead of you now.
And I was right about Jared Jones.
Oh, my God.
No, you weren't.
He tapered off toward the end of the season. He got hurt, too.
Yeah, he got hurt. That's not the same thing as tapering off. You could text us, brought to you by Edgar. I did that to myself.